Hey guys, how's it going? Todd, the Cheap Drums guy. So I had the day off today. I was sick, had a bit of a sinus infection, and I knew it was going to kill me at work. So I took the day off. I needed something to do or I was going to go crazy. So I decided to work on one of my snare drums. There it is. Now, you probably don't recognize it, but this was the snare drum that came from my Drum Zone kit that I got at Goodwill for 30 bucks. It had a black wrap on it, and I just wanted to try something different. So what I did, starting about 11 o'clock, I stripped it down, took the wrap off it. That's where I was able to save the badge, and I cut it out of the wrap, so it's actually quite thick now. But I took the shell downstairs into the garage, and I sanded it smooth with the grain. Sanded the bearing edges too along there because they're a little rough. And also, this snare drum did not have the snare beds, so I took a file and did a slight channel on it and then sanded that. Once that was done, I taped all the bearing edges, and where the lugs are, the two holes for the lugs, I put well, first I was going to do the dark color. So I made sure I split it right down the center and had the majority of the tape on this side, so that way the panels would be perfectly lined up. And after the tape was on there, and you see there's no bleed at all, I took a t-shirt with just a little bit of this red mahogany stain from Minwax, put it on a clean t-shirt, and just rubbed it. Really nice and easy. Not a lot of it, but just enough to coat it really good. And I did all three panels because it is a 6-lug snare drum, believe it or not. And I did all three of the panels with that. And then once that was done, I waited, I'm serious, 10 minutes. That's it. Because, I did make sure all the stain was off it, and I did wipe it dry with that t-shirt. And then once I knew it was fairly dry, I took the painter's tape and I put it right on the edge of that red mahogany to make sure there would be no seepage through. And then I applied the honey oak, also from Minwax. I only put a single coat on that, and there was no bleeding whatsoever. Same thing with along the bearing edges. Now, again, waiting 10 minutes, that's it. I then took the snare, and I was already in the garage, so I got my clear coat spray. It's a semi-gloss. And I did a quick spray of the entire shell. Then I ran it upstairs real quick, got my wife's brand new blow dryer, blow dried the entire shell, then went right back down to the garage, did another coat of clear, went right back upstairs, hair dried it again until it was nice and dry. I swear to God, it was less than 3 hours, and I went from a black wrapped snare drum, very inexpensive snare drum, to this in less than 3 hours. It looks absolutely beautiful, I think. And I really don't know what I'm doing. So any of you out there who are actually quite skilled at it, be amazed probably what you could come up with. If a knucklehead can get results like that. But she turned out really nice. And it gave me something to do today. And there's the seam. That's the only problem with the shell, was the seam right there. But this snare drum has got a whole new look to it. It's just beautiful. And I really need to get one of those rotating stands. But imagine what you can do with a little bit more time and patience. So I've taken essentially a snare drum that part of a $30 drum set, which probably is $6, and now it's worth $26. But anyways, I'm Todd, the Cheap Drums guy, and don't stop being creative, people.